Sophia Reyes knelt on the supermarket's freezing floor, scooping up the fallen coins with trembling hands and sobbing, "Baby, I'm sorry. I dropped our last money. I don't have enough to buy diapers and milk." The scene hit Alexander Voss straight in the chest and made him move, though he had no idea the secrets waiting down the road. Before we start, tell us where you're listening from. Seattle, Michigan, or somewhere else in the world? And when it's over, don't forget to rate the story from 0 to 10. Let's begin. Worn pennies rolled across the linoleum, making a small metallic sound like a knife cutting into Sophia Reyes's breaking heart. Under the harsh neon lights of the late-night store, the 32-year-old single mother knelt, fingers shaking as they brushed dirt to pick up the coins. Liam, her 2-year-old, cried hoarsely from the rickety stroller. Each sob tore through her. Sophia looked up into his red-rimmed eyes, his tiny hands reaching out as if begging. She counted again in her battered leather wallet. 3 quarters, 2 nickels, a few pennies. And she was 1 cent short of buying the diapers and formula, the bare minimum to give Liam a warm, full night. Hot tears rolled down her cheeks and mixed with her son's cries. Inside, she screamed, "I failed. Liam deserves a better mother, a better life." The smell of cheap goods, a mix of plastic, detergent, and canned food, hung heavy, a bitter reminder of Sophia's fate. Judgmental looks from the line behind stabbed at her back, whispered cruelly, "Don't have kids if you can't afford them." She tried to swallow the tears, but they spilled over, blurring her vision. Childhood memories of poverty surged like a nightmare. Nights when her mother sat by a stove counting coins to choose between food and diapers. Little Sophia clutching her empty belly and shivering in a cold corner. Now she was repeating that cycle despite all she'd done with meager freelance graphic design gigs. What was once her dream, creating beautiful, colorful designs, had become sleepless nights, editing tiny jobs for a few dollars that still weren't enough. Bills piled on the kitchen table, rent due, and Liam, that little angel with a smile bright as sunlight, crying from hunger and a soggy diaper used too long. Sophia clenched the last coin in her hand like a fragile hope. She whispered to herself, "Just 1 more cent and I can buy milk. Just 1. But the coin didn't appear, and Liam's crying played on loop like a sad song. She looked up at the shelf where packs of diapers and boxes of formula sat, so close she could almost touch them, yet as unattainable as a dream that would never come true. The crowd grew restless. A middle-aged man muttered, "Hurry up, don't waste our time." Sophia felt herself sinking, the air heavy on her shoulders. She considered leaving the cart and going back to the cramped apartment, facing Liam's innocent face with nothing to feed him. "I can't give up," she told herself, but her legs trembled and refused to rise. She bowed her head, tears falling to the floor, mixing with dirt. Inside, she felt numb. That scene pushed Alexander Voss, the man standing quietly at the neighboring checkout, into action. Alex, 34, CEO of Voss Tech, tall with black hair streaked with gray, dressed in an unassuming suit that still radiated discreet wealth, had his gaze stop on Sophia. Not with pity, but with a deep sympathy, as if he'd once been there, counting coins in desperation. His chest stirred. Why does she make my heart race like this? Like a memory from my darkest days when someone gave me hope. He stepped forward, his voice warm and low. "Here, this penny you need." He held out a bright, shiny penny, smiling gently but sincerely. "Let me pay for that pack of diapers and milk. Also wipes, a little toy, and a few extra cans of formula." There was no arrogance in his tone, only warmth, as if he wanted to bring some light to the mother and child. Sophia blinked, looked up at him, and their eyes met for the first time. A strange flutter passed between them that made her heart beat faster, though she didn't understand why. Alex looked at her as if seeing an old acquaintance, a faint memory from his own past of hunger and being helped by strangers. Memories he'd never forgotten. Sophia stood, wiping her face in a shaky but determined voice. "Thank you, but I'll only take the 1 cent to pay for this item. The extras, the toy, wipes, the extra cans, I'll pay you back when I get paid from freelancing." She emphasized gratitude mingled with pride. "I don't accept charity." Alex smiled, admiration in his eyes. "I understand. I used to count pennies like you, used to be hungry, used to stand where you are. Someone helped me, so I want to help you. Not charity. Respect for your strength." His words struck her heart and made her hesitate. She took a scrap of paper from her pocket and handed him a pen. "Write your phone number. I'll contact you to pay you back." Alex nodded and wrote a string of numbers on the paper, but deliberately wrote a wrong number. A small, private intent flickering through his eyes. "Respect for you. Contact me if you need." Their fingers brushed as he handed the paper back, a brief jolt like electricity making Sophia flinch and flush. She stepped back, trying to hide her embarrassment, heart racing. Why does he make me feel so safe? They stood there at the crowded checkout like two colliding worlds. A single mother with an empty wallet and a lonely billionaire with a wounded past. Sophia looked down at Liam, now calmer and clutching the pack of diapers bought with Alex's penny. She whispered to him, "Mom will try harder, okay?" Gratitude filled her, along with resolve. "I have to work harder. I must pay him back." She didn't doubt the phone number, only felt a small spark of hope. This man, a stranger in passing, had given them a little light. From behind, Alex watched them leave the store. His cart held only a few personal items, a bottle of water, a chocolate bar, as if he needed nothing for himself. Inside, he wrestled with a thought. She's special. I was helped once and lifted from the bottom. But there's something about her I can't grasp. He tightened the scrap with his real number in his pocket, knowing the fake number would make it hard for her to reach him. The cashier finished the transaction and looked at Alex curiously. "You're very kind, but how will she ever pay you back?" Alex only smiled lightly and didn't answer, his gaze fixed on Sophia's retreating figure through the store's glass doors. Liam turned in his stroller and smiled at him innocently, like a little light in the night. Sophia walked away, holding her son tightly, gratitude welling up. "He helped us, but I won't let this become a permanent debt." She vowed to herself with fierce determination, "I will pay him back." Was Alex's gesture a momentary kindness, or would the phone number he gave lead to a larger story? To secrets neither of them could imagine. The scent of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the warm, golden glow of pendant lights at the Hope Bridge Community Center. Sophia Reyes pushed Liam's old stroller through the glass doors, heart heavy as she joined the line for free food. Children's laughter echoed from the play corner, but all she heard was her own heart pounding, a reminder of failure. She kept her head down, avoiding curious glances from the volunteers. "I hate this feeling," she thought. "But Liam needs food, needs diapers, needs a mother who won't give up." Once an ambitious freelance graphic designer, she now stood in a charity line just days after the desperate supermarket moment. Alexander Voss, the man who handed her the penny with that warm look, flashed through her mind, but she quickly pushed it away. "I have to pay him back," she whispered, clutching the scrap with his number, determined to call as soon as she had pay. Hope Bridge was busier than usual, shelves stocked with formula, diapers, and canned goods. A volunteer in a bright blue shirt handed her a bag of supplies, but Sophia felt only hollowness. "Thank you," she murmured, barely audible. Liam, sitting in his stroller, turned his big eyes and clutched a cookie the volunteer had given him. Sophia's chest ached. I dreamed of giving him a good life, and now I'm begging for help. She thought of sleepless nights finishing small design jobs that still couldn't cover the bills. The supermarket flashback came back. Coins rolling, the judging looks, and Alex's low voice. I used to count pennies like you. She'd tried calling him all week, but the number rang unanswered, as if he'd vanished. Why would he give me a number and then not answer? I need to repay that extra money. I can't stay owing people forever. A familiar voice from across the room made her start and look up. Alexander Voss, in a sharp gray suit, was speaking with the center's director, holding a large check. Voss Tech wants to do more for the children's program, he said, his voice deep and authoritative. People applauded, and Alex's gaze swept the room and settled on Sophia. He smiled and stepped toward her, eyes bright as if recognizing someone. Sophia? What a coincidence. Sophia blinked, heart pounding, both surprised and uneasy. She hadn't expected to see him here, in a place where she felt smallest. Liam waved at Alex from the stroller, as if the boy remembered the kind man from the supermarket. Sophia offered a weak smile, while inside she was swirling with questions. He's a major donor. Why is he among people like me? She drew a breath and mustered courage, voice shaking but firm. I tried calling you all week to return the extra. The toy, the wipes, the extra formula. But the number you gave, nobody answered. Her eyes sharpened with both anger and hurt. Did you think I couldn't pay you back? I won't owe anyone, especially a stranger. The room seemed to hush. Nearby volunteers glanced over, curious. Alex froze for a moment, a flash of regret crossing his face. He raised a hand, speaking gently but earnestly. I was wrong, Sophia. I wrote the wrong number not because I thought you couldn't repay me. I just didn't want you to feel pressured to pay right away. I respect your resilience. He paused, his deep eyes meeting hers as if trying to say something deeper he couldn't yet reveal. Inside, he wondered. She's stronger than I thought. But why does she feel so familiar? Sophia shook her head, voice taut. You don't understand. I need to pay you back, for Liam's sake, for my own. She tapped her son, eyes rimmed red, protecting the small dignity she had left. Drama hung in the air, filled only by murmurs and the sound of Liam happily nibbling his cookie. Alex stepped closer, lowering his voice almost to a whisper. I've been where you are, Sophia. I counted pennies. I was hungry. I felt like I had nothing but determination. Someone gave me a chance, and now I want to do the same. He brightened with an idea. You're a freelance graphic designer, right? Voss Tech needs a part-time designer for an ad project. Flexible hours so you can care for Liam. What do you think? Sophia froze, her hand gripping the stroller handle instinctively. She looked at Liam, then at Alex, heart racing. Are you offering me a job? Her mind spun. This is an opportunity. But do I have the strength after all those failures? She inhaled and tried to steady herself. Thank you. But I need to think. I want to work. But for Liam, I must be sure. Alex nodded, his gaze gentle yet firm. I understand. This is my real number. He took a business card from his wallet and handed it to her. Their fingers brushed again, a jolt passing through her and making her blush. Sophia clutched the card, gratitude and embarrassment tangled together. Thank you again. I'll call, not just to pay you back. Alex smiled with a sparkle. I believe you'll do well. You're stronger than you think. He returned to speak with the center's director, but his eyes kept sneaking back toward Sophia as if he didn't want to let her go. Sophia pushed the stroller out of the center, the food bag and Alex's business card in hand. Liam fell asleep, his head resting on her shoulder, breathing steady like a reminder of why she had to fight. Emotions swelled inside her. He gave me more than money. He gave hope. I must take this chance for Liam. She gripped the card and vowed, I will try. I will prove I'm worthy. Deep down, there was a strange, fluttering feeling when she thought of Alex. His eyes, his voice, a small light in the darkness of her life. Will Sophia overcome her self-doubt to take this chance? And is their unexpected meeting at Hope Bridge fate? Or just a fleeting moment between two strangers? The weak blue glow from the old computer screen washed over Sophia Reyes's face in her cramped apartment. The sour scent of cold coffee drifted from a forgotten cup on the table. She sat at the kitchen table, fingers moving over the keyboard, opening an email from Voss Tech with the subject line, "Welcome Sophia to the design team." After the meeting at Hope Bridge, she had called Alexander Voss and accepted the part-time design job he offered. "I'll do it for Liam," she told him on the phone, her voice steady but edged with doubt. Now, reading the job instructions, design a banner ad for the new campaign, she felt a small thread of hope. Inside, she thought, "I once dreamed of being a big designer. Now it's a small job, but at least it's a chance." She glanced at Liam, playing with the toy Alex had given him in the supermarket. His smile felt like strength returned to her. Still, a worry sat heavy inside. Am I good enough not to disappoint him? The email ended with Alex's line, "I believe in you, Sophia. Start when you're ready." His words made her chest flutter. More than professional encouragement. She told herself, "I have to try, not only to repay him but to prove I'm worthy." She smiled, picturing a better future for her and her son. But hardship doesn't loosen its grip so easily. A week later, rain pounded on the apartment awning. Each drop beat like a frantic pulse on Sophia's already panicked heart. Liam lay on the old bed, cheeks flushed with fever, weak cries mixed with little moans. Sophia knelt beside him, pressing her hand to his forehead. It was burning, and she trembled. "Honey, I'm here," she whispered, but her voice cracked with worry. It was 10 p.m. The nearest clinic was closed, and her wallet was as empty as the days before. Her paycheck from Voss Tech hadn't come yet, and there was nowhere else to turn. Inside, she screamed, "What do I do? Liam needs a doctor. I can't let him suffer." She fumbled for Alex's card, fingers shaking as she dialed the real number he'd given her at Hope Bridge. He helped us twice already, she thought. Would he help again? After 2 rings, Alex's warm voice answered, "Sophia, is everything okay?" Without hesitation, she broke into tears. "Liam has a high fever. I don't know what to do. Can you help me get him to the hospital?" 10 minutes later, the headlights of Alex's luxury car cut through the rain and stopped at her door. He stepped out, his suit soaked, but his eyes full of concern. "Get in. I'll take you two right now," he said, his voice steady. Sophia wrapped Liam in a thin blanket and rushed to the car. The leather smell of the interior mixed with wet rain, creating a strange but safe feeling. Alex bent down and soothed Liam, his hand gentle on the little boy's forehead. "Come on, kiddo. I'll take you to the doctor." Liam, exhausted, looked at him with big eyes as if sensing warmth. Sophia sat in the back, clutching her child, her thoughts in knots. Why does he always show up when I need him most? But I don't want to be dependent. The car slid through rain-slick streets. City lights blurred against the windows. Alex drove carefully, glancing in the rear view to check on them. "He'll be okay," he said, reassuring. "I used to take my brother to the hospital like this, in the rain, scared just like you." Sophia blinked, surprised. "You have a brother?" Alex gave a small smile, his gaze distant. "I did. Those hard days taught me that just one person helping can change everything." He didn't say more, but his words touched her. Inside, she thought, he suffered, like me. Yet he's so strong. She looked down at Liam, now calmer in her arms, breathing steadier after the comfort Alex offered. The car stopped at the hospital. White light from the signage washed over them, antiseptic smell in the air. Alex helped Sophia out. His hand brushed her shoulder, a brief contact that made her heart race. "Thank you again," she whispered, voice thick. After the doctor examined Liam and prescribed medicine, a fever from a cold, not dangerous, Sophia, Liam, and Alex stood under the hospital awning, waiting for the rain to ease. The rain pattered and wind sighed, making the small scene feel cut off from the world. Sophia held the sleeping child, eyes tired but grateful. "I don't know what I would have done without you tonight," she said softly. Alex shook his head and stood close to shelter her from the rain. "You're stronger than you think, Sophia. I just helped a little." He paused, then added in a voice like a memory. "When I was younger, I was hungry and slept on the streets. A stranger gave me a warm blanket that got me through a cold night. I never forgot it. So now I want to help others." He didn't mention the accident from his past, but his eyes were deep, holding an untold story. Sophia looked at him and felt her heart stir. How does he speak like he understands my whole world? She took a breath and found courage to share. "Being a single mother isn't easy. My ex, he left when Liam was born, leaving me with bills and a broken dream. I used to think I'd be a big designer. Now I'm just a failed mother." Tears slid down her face and mixed with the rain. Alex watched her, gentle but resolute. "You're not a failure. You're fighting for Liam, for yourself. That's the strength I admire." He reached as if to wipe her tears, hesitated, and then their hands brushed when he handed her the umbrella. A spark went through her. Sophia flinched and blushed. In that moment under the rain, it felt like a romantic novel scene. Their eyes locked, breath mingling in the damp air. She stepped back, heart pounding. "Why do I feel this way? He's only helping, isn't he?" They stood there as the rain continued. Liam slept in Sophia's arms, but her heart was restless. She felt safe with Alex and heard sincerity in his words, but memories of her ex made her afraid. "I can't open up. I can't be hurt again." Yet Alex's deep, warm eyes seemed to pull her from the darkness. Inside him, too, something stirred. "She's strong, but wounded. I want to protect her. Why does my chest feel like this?" He smiled and broke the silence. "Let's go. I'll drive you two home. Liam needs rest." Sophia nodded, gratitude swelling. "Thank you, Alex. I'll pay you back. Not just money, but your kindness." She vowed, "I must try, for Liam and not to let him down." Alex drove them home. Streetlights streaked past, reflected on the car window. Sophia held Liam and caught Alex's glance in the rear view. Soft and meaningful. She wondered, who is he really? Only a kind man, or something more? When the car stopped at her building, Alex opened her door and their hands touched again, once more making her pulse stutter. "Call me if you need anything. Anytime," he said with a warm smile. Sophia nodded, carried Liam inside, emotions overflowing. "He gave me hope. Do I dare believe in this? Is the flutter a real thing or just a moment in the rain? What will she do when faced with this new chance and the fear of opening up to the past?" The warm, yellow light from the round old lamp in Sophia Reyes's small apartment played across the peeling wall. The smell of fried potatoes drifted from the kitchen. Sophia stood at her desk, eyes fixed on the computer screen, adjusting the banner design for Voss Tech. This part-time job, even at the beginning, had lit a small hope in her precarious life. Liam's clear laughter came from the corner where he played with the toy car Alexander Voss had given him at the supermarket. Sophia smiled, but inside she felt tangled. "I'm trying. But is it enough to give Liam a better future? She thought about Alex, the man who'd appeared at the right moments. The penny in the supermarket, the job at Hope Bridge, the rainy ride to the hospital. Gratitude mixed with a flutter of feeling had her confused. Who is he in my life? Just a benefactor, or something more? A gentle knock at the door cut through her thoughts. It surprised her. Few people visited her shabby apartment in the late afternoon. She opened the door and there stood Alex in a plain blue shirt, holding a small paper bag, his smile warm like sunlight breaking through clouds. "Hi, Sophia. I brought a little something for Liam," he said, lifting the bag, eyes bright. Hearing his voice, Liam ran out, eyes wide and shining. "Uncle, uncle." He clung to Alex's leg and beamed. Sophia froze, heart racing. Why is he here? Why does Liam adore him so much? Alex knelt and pulled a toy airplane from the bag, handing it to Liam. "Here, little man, try flying this." Liam laughed and ran around as the plane swooshed. Alex sat on the floor and played with him, his look tender as if the boy were his whole world. Sophia watched, choked with emotion. Liam hadn't laughed like this since his father left. He seems like a father. She inhaled, steadying herself, voice hesitant. "Stay for dinner? It's nothing fancy, just spaghetti and fries, but..." Alex smiled and rose, still holding Liam's plane. "I wouldn't turn down a family dinner." The word family made Sophia start and blush. She stepped quickly into the kitchen to hide her embarrassment, heart pounding. Why does he talk like we belong together? The simple dinner unfolded on the old wooden table, the smell of spaghetti mixed with Liam's laughter and Alex's warm voice. He told a story about the toy plane that made Liam giggle. Sophia watched them and felt an odd warmth fill the tiny apartment, as if for the first time it was full of joy. Inside, she thought, I never imagined a moment like this. But is it real, or just a dream? After dinner, Sophia stood washing dishes in the cramped sink, the dim light casting her shadow on the wall. Alex came up behind her, rolled up his sleeves and took a bowl. "Let me help." She declined, voice soft. "You're a guest. I'll do it." But Alex smiled with gentleness. "I'm not a guest, Sophia. I want to be here, with you and Liam." His words stopped her. Her hands paused over the dishes. They stood close, the sound of water mixing with her racing heartbeat. He continued, "When I was young, I dreamed of a dinner like this while sleeping on the street with no one beside me. A stranger gave me hope. And now, I want to do that for others." His voice dropped, eyes distant as if recalling painful memories. Sophia's expression softened. "You suffered, but now you're a CEO. Why do you still care about people like me?" Alex turned and locked eyes with her. "Because I see your strength, Sophia. You remind me that life is worth fighting for when you fight for someone you love." The moment hung still. Their hands brushed under the running water. His fingers slid across hers and a shock ran through her, making her start and her cheeks flush. She pulled back, heart pounding. Why does every touch do this to me? Alex stepped back too, his gaze unsettled, as if holding back a powerful feeling. They went on washing in silence. Water and Liam's distant play the only sounds. Sophia broke the quiet, voice small. I dreamed of being a great designer, but my ex left, leaving me with Liam and the bills. I'm scared I'm not enough, even for the job you gave me. Alex stopped and looked at her, voice firm. You are enough, Sophia. I saw your talent in the first design. I believe you can do more. His words felt like warm wind that brushed across her cold heart. After dinner, Alex stayed to play with Liam a little longer, teaching him to fold paper planes. Sophia watched, flooded with feeling. He's not just a benefactor. He's like part of my life. But memories of her ex rose like a shadow. I used to believe in love and was abandoned. Can I dare to trust again? Alex stood up to leave, lingering. Thank you for dinner, Sophia. I'll come back if you'll have me. She smiled, voice thick. Thank you, Alex. Not just for tonight, but for everything. She told herself, I must fight for Liam and not to let him down. Alex stepped into the hallway, fingers tight around his car keys, his mind uneasy. I want to protect them, but deep inside I want to protect someone else too. A vague memory from his past flickered across his mind, making him hesitate. Will this family moment draw Sophia and Alex closer? Or will the deep feeling inside him lead them to an unexpected turning point? The pale blue light from Sophia Reyes's old computer screen flickered in her small apartment, casting tired shadows across her face close to midnight. The smell of cold coffee lingered from a cup on the kitchen table where she sat, fingers trembling as she dragged sliders in her design software. The part-time job at Voss Tech, designing a banner for a major ad campaign, had become a brutal test. The tight deadline was only 3 days away, and the modern software and complex requirements panicked her. I used to be a designer, she whispered, voice breaking. Now I'm out of date. Inside, she thought, I can't let Alex down. He trusted me and gave me this chance. She glanced at Liam, asleep on the small bed, the toy airplane Alex had given him lying nearby. Her son's smile was a little fire that kept her warm, but the pressure burned her eyes. She worked until she was exhausted, forgetting to eat, forgetting to rest, desperate to prove she deserved Alex's faith. A ping from email sliced through the quiet night. A message from Alex. Sophia, how's your first draft? Need any help? She bit her lip, fingers hovering over the keyboard. Her design was messy, colors clashing, layout lifeless. I can't send this, she thought, shame rising like a wave. Memories of unemployment and rejected freelance bids surged back, whispering she wasn't good enough. I must try for Liam, for Alex, she told herself. But her body was tired, her vision blurred from sleep loss, and fear of failure cast a long shadow. She bowed her head to the table and murmured, Can I do this? Or am I just a burden to him? The next afternoon, a knock sounded at the door. Sophia, eyes rimmed dark, hair a tangle, opened it and froze to see Alex standing there with a bag of hot food and a gentle, sun-like smile. I figured you were overworking, he said, concern passing over her pale face. I brought some sandwiches and coffee. Where's Liam? Flushed with embarrassment, Sophia pointed to the corner where Liam played with his paper plane. Uncle! Liam shouted, running to hug Alex's leg, his big eyes bright. Alex crouched and ruffled the boy's hair. Come on, bud. Have a sandwich with me? Watching them, Sophia felt a warmth mixed with shame. How does he always know when I need help most? Alex came in and set the food on the table. His gaze fell on the computer screen. The design? He asked softly. Sophia blushed and tried to hide the monitor. It's not finished. I'm afraid it won't meet your standards. Alex sat beside her, opened his laptop, voice warm and steady. Let me see. I've worked with designers. I can give you a few tips. He pointed at the screen and showed her how to adjust layout, how to choose more harmonious colors. His hands moved across the keyboard near hers, and she felt his warmth. The smell of grilled chicken sandwiches mixed with fresh coffee, creating an oddly intimate atmosphere. Sophia listened, equal parts admiring and insecure. He's not just a CEO. He understands design. I feel so small next to him. Alex turned to her, eyes bright. You have talent, Sophia. With a few edits, this will surprise the whole team. His words were a wind that scattered the dark clouds inside her. They talked about design techniques and about her dream to become a major designer and give Liam a good life. She swallowed and found the courage to confess. I'm afraid I'm not good enough, Alex. My ex said I was useless. that my design dreams were only fantasies. Tears fell and her voice choked. Alex looked at her with deep eyes. He was wrong. You are strong and talented, and I saw that the first time I met you in the supermarket. He paused, voice lowering. I had nothing once, Sophia. I was hungry and thought I couldn't do anything. Someone gave me a chance, and now I want to do the same for you. He didn't mention the accident, but his eyes held an untold story. Sophia felt her heart stir. How does he always make me believe I can do anything? The air froze as Alex gently took her hand in comfort. You're not alone, Sophia. I'm here. For you and for Liam. The warmth from his hand spread through her heart pounding and cheeks flushing, their eyes locked in a novel-like moment under the apartment's dim light. Sophia wanted to pull her hand away, but his sincerity held her. Inside, she thought, he's like a warm breeze blowing into the cold life of me and Liam. Do I have the courage to accept that warmth? Alex was moved, too. His gaze deepened as if to say something, but he released her hand and said softly, Take a break, and then we'll finish this design. Sophia nodded, her heart full of flutter. He's helping me with my work, and he's making my heart race. They worked together into the evening, Liam's laughter mixed with Alex's deep voice. The design gradually came together, and Sophia felt more confident than ever. She watched Alex playing with Liam in the corner and felt gratitude overflow. He's like sunshine, chasing shadow from our lives. But this feeling, is it too fragile? Inside, Alex battled his own conflict. I want to protect them, but a small corner of my heart still holds a shape I can't forget. A vague memory from his past washed over him, making him hold back even as his heart pulled him closer to Sophia. When Alex left, he looked back at them with tender eyes. Send the design when it's done, Sophia. I know you'll do great. Liam waved. Uncle, come back tomorrow. Sophia smiled, voice thick. Thank you, Alex, for everything. She told herself, I must try for Liam and not fail him or him. But when the door closed, she stood motionless, her hand touching where he had held hers, feeling a fierce mix of longing and fear. This feeling is like flame, beautiful but fragile. Do I dare let it burn? Will Sophia overcome her fear to embrace this flame of feeling? And how will the figure in Alex's heart influence the relationship budding between them? A stranger gave me hope, and I always want to repay that. He did not mention the accident, but his eyes were distant, as if touching a deep memory. Sophia looked at him. Her heart stirred. He suffered, but now he has succeeded, what made him never give up. Afternoon sunlight slipped through the trees in the city park, sprinkling glittering patches across the green grass. Sophia Reyes stood there, gently pushing the swing where Liam, her 2-year-old, laughed and kicked, his big eyes shining like the sun. The scent of freshly cut grass mingled with the twitter of birds, crafting a fresh scene that contrasted with her cramped apartment. Just days earlier, she'd been collapsing over her kitchen table, worried about the part-time design job for Voss Tech. But today an email came from the Voss Tech team full of praise. Sophia, your design exceeded expectations. We want you on the next project. She smiled, relief and confidence blooming for the first time in months. Inside, she glowed. I did it. For Liam, for myself, and for him. She thought of Alexander Voss, who had brought this chance. From the penny in the supermarket to the warm moments in her apartment. Alex stood beside her in a simple blue shirt, holding a small ball, his smile gentle like sunlight. Sophia, Liam, come to the park with me. Let's celebrate your amazing design, he'd said over the phone that morning, excited. Now he knelt and rolled the ball on the grass for Liam, whose laughter rang out. Sophia watched, feeling an odd warmth. How does he make everything feel so easy? Alex looked up and met her eyes. You did great, Sophia. I knew you could. His words were a cool breeze across her heart. She blushed and whispered, Thank you, Alex. If you hadn't helped me before, I wouldn't have made it. Liam ran up and hugged Alex's leg. Uncle, push the swing. Alex laughed and lifted him into the swing, pushing gently, his face lighting up as he watched Liam beam. Sophia stood close. When they both pushed the swing, her hand brushed his shoulder. A shiver ran through her, and her heart raced. How can a single touch do this to me? They sat on a wooden bench under the trees while Liam chased the ball. The scent of blossoms merged with children's laughter, painting a family portrait. Alex turned to Sophia in a low, warm voice. When I was young, I dreamed of days like this. I had nothing back then. Hunger and cold. A stranger gave me hope, and I always wanted to give that back. He didn't mention the accident, but his eyes were distant, like he'd touched a deep memory. Sophia felt moved. He once suffered, and now he's successful. What kept him from giving up? Alex smiled and fixed his gaze on her. It was the dream. I want to build a better world, not just for myself, but for people like you and Liam. His words reached her heart. He seemed more than a benefactor, someone who understood her broken dreams. She inhaled and found courage to say, I used to dream of being a great designer, creating work that stunned people. But when my ex left, leaving me and Liam with bills, I believed that dream died. Her voice faltered and tears welled. Alex watched her with gentle, steady eyes. Your dream isn't dead, Sophia. I see it in your design, in how you fight for Liam. You are stronger than you know. He reached out hesitantly and touched her shoulder in comfort. In that sunlit moment, it felt like a romantic novel. Their breaths close, eyes locked, Sophia's heart pounding. She wanted to lean on him and let the warmth chase away the fear. But the memory of her ex made her step back, voice shaking. I'm scared, Alex. If I open up, I might be hurt again. Alex didn't press her. His gaze was deep, as if about to speak, but held back. Inside, he struggled. I want to be with them, but part of my heart still holds a shadow I can't forget. A vague past memory crossed his mind and made him hesitate. He smiled and broke the silence. You don't have to rush, Sophia. I'm here whenever you need. His words were a promise, making her feel safe but also sending her heart racing. He's like a fire, warm but capable of burning. Do I dare step forward? They kept playing with Liam. His laughter chased away the stress. Alex pretended to fall on the grass to make Liam roar with laughter. Sophia watched them and felt a powerful stir. He brings joy to Liam and to me, but is this feeling safe? As the sun began to set, they took Liam home. Alex carried the sleepy boy to bed with gentle hands. Sophia stood nearby, heart full. He feels like a missing piece for our life. Do I dare let that piece stay? Alex turned to her, eyes bright. Today was great, Sophia. I want many more days like this. She smiled, voice thick. Thank you, Alex, for Liam and for me. She told herself, I want to trust him. But my heart still trembles with fear. When Alex left, he turned back and said with lingering warmth, Call me if you need anything, Sophia. Anytime. The door closed and Sophia stood still, her hand touching the place his had touched on her shoulder. A fierce mix of desire and fear. This feeling is like a blossom in the sun, beautiful but fragile. Do I dare keep it? Will Sophia be brave enough to embrace the budding love? And will the shape in Alex's heart lead them to a turning point when a secret from the past is about to be revealed? The cold, white glow of Sophia Reyes's old computer screen washed over her face in the small apartment. The faint scent of old paper from a stack of documents drifting through the air. She was researching for Voss Tech's new project, a traffic safety ad campaign that required digging up records of major accidents from the past. The steady clack of keys mixed with the sound of Liam, her 2-year-old son, playing with a paper airplane in the corner. After the success of her first design, Sophia felt more confident, but pressure still weighed on her. She wanted to prove she deserved Alexander Voss's trust. She opened an old article from 2003, and the headline made her heart stall. Horrific bus rollover. Only one teen survives. The next line made her freeze. Alexander Voss, 12, rescued from the wreck. Her inner voice trembled. I had no idea he went through something so life or death and heartbreaking. She read on. Each line felt like a blade. The crash had taken many lives. Alex was the sole survivor. But the article didn't say who he'd lost. She whispered to herself, how much did he have to endure to become as strong as he is now? She sat motionless, the screen's light painting confusion and pity across her eyes. Memories of Alex talking about his impoverished past, about a figure he could never forget, rushed back. But he had never once mentioned an accident. She looked at Liam, laughing innocently with the toy Alex had given him, and her chest tightened. He's helped me and Liam so many times, but what do I really know about his pain? She searched for more, but the article held only vague details. Inside, she screamed, I have to ask him, not to accuse, to share, to comfort him. She texted Alex, her message hands shaking. Can you come over? I need to talk. Her heart hammered, eager to see him, yet fearful of the pain he might be hiding. An hour later, Alex stood at her door in a simple shirt, his gaze caring but edged with worry. Sophia, is everything okay? He asked as he stepped inside, the smell of freshly brewed coffee from the kitchen mingling with the tense air. Liam ran to him and wrapped his arms around his leg. Uncle. Alex knelt, ruffling the boy's hair, but his eyes stayed on Sophia. She drew a breath and pointed at the computer screen where the article still sat open. Alex, this is you, right? The 2003 bus accident? Her voice trembled, threaded with concern and pity. Alex looked at the screen, his face stiffened, his eyes sinking into memory. He nodded slowly, voice low. Yes, that was me. I don't like to talk about it, Sophia. It's part of my past I want to forget. She looked at him, her heart constricting. Did you lose someone in that accident, Alex? Why did you have to carry this alone? He sat and clenched his hands, his stare distant. I lost someone very close. Someone saved me and I couldn't save them. He paused, his voice broke and he revealed nothing more. I survived, but I carry that pain for the rest of my life. I don't want you to take on my sorrow. Sophia listened, pain stabbing her chest. He endured so much, yet hid it to protect me. She moved closer, voice softening. Alex, you helped me and Liam through so much. I want to understand you. I want to be with you in it. Alex looked at her. His expression moved, as if he wanted to pour everything out but held himself back. He took her hand, his warmth spread and her heart raced. Sophia, thank you for wanting to understand, but trust me, I'm here for you and Liam. In that dim light, their eyes met, locked like a page from a romance novel, while Sophia's worry lingered. He's sincere, but this pain. Can I comfort him? They sat together. Liam played nearby. The child's laughter cut some of the tension. Sophia inhaled and spoke quietly. I'm scared, Alex. I've opened my heart to you, and if you carry this alone, I want to be by your side. He met her gaze, pained but gentle. I don't want to hurt you, Sophia. I only want to protect you and Liam and... He hesitated as if that figure he could never forget rose up in his mind. Inside, he was torn. I want to be with them. But in my heart there is still a small corner reserved for a figure I can't forget. Sophia felt his reluctance and felt her own turmoil. He's like a wave, powerful but hard to hold. Can I help him get past this? She gripped his hand, voice shaking. Promise me, Alex. If anything important comes up, you'll tell me. He nodded, eyes honest. I promise, Sophia. When the time is right, I'll tell you. Silence fell, broken only by Liam's play and the ticking clock. Sophia looked at Alex, her feelings a fierce blend of longing and worry. He's my pillar, but this pain is a wall between us. Alex rose and lifted Liam, making the boy laugh out loud. He turned to Sophia, tenderness in his eyes. Thank you for today, for asking. I'll come back, if you want me to. She smiled, voice thick. Thank you, Alex, for always being here. She thought to herself, I want to trust him. But this pain, where will it lead me? When Alex left, he turned and looked back at the two of them, lingering. Sophia stood still, touching the spot where his hand had been, emotions flooding her. This feeling is like a flower in the sun, beautiful, but fragile. Do I dare hold on to it? Will Sophia find the courage to accept this affection? And will the figure in Alex's heart lead them to a turning point when a secret from the past is about to be revealed? The soft golden light from the small chandeliers at the cozy restaurant fell across Sophia Reyes's face, making her eyes sparkle. The scent of freshly baked bread and wine mingled with the gentle violin, creating a warm, romantic atmosphere. Liam, 2 years old, sat in his high chair, giggling as he bit a piece of pasta Alexander Voss had just fed him. Alex, in a simple but elegant suit, smiled and pulled out a chair for Sophia when they arrived. I wanted to take you and Liam out to celebrate the great design. And to talk, he had said over the phone that morning, his deep voice full of meaning. Sophia sat there, her heart pounding, feeling the special care he showed. He makes everything feel important. But after the article about the accident, I want to understand him better, to comfort him. She watched Alex play with Liam, a sweet flutter in her chest. The little restaurant, with its red brick walls and flickering candles, seemed to cut them off from the noisy world outside. Alex ordered for Liam a small plate of pasta with tomato sauce, then turned to Sophia with a gentle look. What would you like? I remember you said you like seafood. Sophia flushed, surprised he remembered a small detail from their conversation in the park. You remembered, she whispered. Alex smiled, his gaze holding hers. I remember everything about you, Sophia, because you're special to me. The words landed like a sweet note and made her heart skip. Inside, she thought, he always makes me feel like I'm the only one. But after that article, I want to share this with him, to comfort him. She took a breath and gathered courage. Alex, about the 2003 accident, could you tell me more? I worry about you, and I want to be with you. Alex looked at her with those deep, memory-filled eyes. He set down his knife and fork, voice low. I promised I'd tell you when the time was right, Sophia, and I think now is that time. He paused and breathed in, the candlelight reflecting in his eyes. I was 12 on that fateful bus. When it flipped, I was trapped and I thought I was going to die. But a little girl, only a few years younger than me, pulled me from the wreckage. She saved me, but she was badly hurt. Sophia froze. Her hand trembled and a fork slipped, the clink of metal against the plate echoing in the quiet. A little girl? Why didn't you try to find her? She whispered, voice breaking. Alex reached across the table and took her hand. Warmth spread from his touch. I've been looking for her for years. She was unconscious after saving me and taken to a hospital. Records got lost in the chaos, but her eyes, I couldn't forget them. When I saw you at the supermarket, something about your gaze brought her back to me. I looked into it quietly. Age, the neighborhood in 2003 matched. But I couldn't be sure. Not until you asked about the accident. Sophia's heart hammered. A hazy memory skimmed her mind, but nothing clear came. Inside, she thought, did I save him? Why don't I remember? Could he be part of my past? Alex's smile softened, eyes shining. Sophia, from the moment in the supermarket I was moved by you. Not just by your kindness, but by you. I've loved you for a long time. His words lit a fire inside her, and tears streamed down her face from overwhelming emotion. She looked at him, voice choked. Alex, I feel the same pull, but I'm scared. My ex hurt me, and these memories, I remember nothing. Alex stood, stepped closer, and went down on one knee, his gaze fixed on hers. I can't promise to erase the hurt of the past, but I promise to be here for you and Liam, if you'll let me. You are my light, Sophia. He took an old silver bracelet from his pocket and slipped it onto her wrist. This is a keepsake from the accident. I kept it searching for the girl who saved me. Now it belongs to you. Sophia sobbed happy tears and threw herself into his arms, holding him tight. In that dim light, it felt like a perfect romantic scene. Their breaths mingling, eyes locked, and Alex whispering in her ear, "Let me love you, Sophia. Forever." She nodded, voice trembling. "Yes, Alex, forever." They sat back down. Liam giggled at the dessert Alex had ordered. Sophia held the bracelet, her heart full but uneasy. He loves me. But what else about these memories hasn't he said? Will I ever remember? Alex continued, his voice low. After the accident, I lost someone important. I carry that pain. But finding you made me believe in love. He didn't reveal everything. His eyes flickered with hesitation, as if that figure he could never forget still haunted him. Inside, he wondered, I love her. But the full truth of the accident, her lost memory, the relative I lost, will she accept it? Sophia felt his hesitation. Her feelings were sweet and anxious at once. He loves me, but what is he still holding back? I want to trust him completely. Dinner ended. Alex lifted a yawning Liam and drove mother and son home. In the car, leather and his faint cologne mingled, creating an intimate atmosphere. He glanced at her in the rearview mirror, tenderness in his eyes. Tonight was wonderful, Sophia. I'll wait until you're ready to remember. She smiled, voice thick. Thank you, Alex. For this love, she thought to herself. He is a flame in my heart. But these murky memories, do I dare step forward? When the car stopped, Alex opened the door and their hands brushed, a tiny electric shock surprising them both. He smiled, lingering. Call me anytime, Sophia. She stood at the apartment door holding sleeping Liam, emotions spilling over. This feeling is like a flower in the sunlight. Beautiful but easily scattered. Do I dare keep it? Will Sophia have the courage to embrace this ardent love? And will the full truth about the accident, about the memories she lost, lead them to a turning point? Or to an ending? The pale golden light from the Voss Tech office windows spilled across the glass conference table, where Sophia Reyes's colorful sketches lay scattered like pieces of a dream she once thought broken. The scent of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the soft tapping of keys from other staff in the room, creating an atmosphere that was busy, yet warm. Sophia sat at the head of the table, her hand gliding over her laptop as she polished a new ad concept. After that first kiss beneath the stars, after Alex confessed his love and vowed to stand by her forever, her heart was still alight. But today she felt a larger turning point approaching, not just for love, but for her whole life. Determination filled her. I made it through those days of counting coins in the supermarket. Now it's time to prove I deserve this chance. For Liam, for Alex. Alexander Voss entered the conference room in a tailored gray suit that spoke of style, but his gaze toward Sophia was as gentle as morning sun. "Sophia, this design is truly impressive," he said in his warm, low voice, pointing to her laptop screen where her campaign logo glowed. "It's not only beautiful, it tells a story of hope." Sophia smiled. Her cheeks warmed as her hand moved instinctively to the silver bracelet he had given her, the keepsake tied to their fate. "Thank you, Alex. But I'm still trying to get better," she answered softly, pride sparkling in her eyes. Alex sat down beside her, close enough that she could feel his warmth. "Sophia, you're not just a talented designer. You inspire people. That's why I want you to lead as creative manager on Voss Tech's next major project." Sophia froze, her hand pausing over the keyboard, surprise and a flicker of worry in her eyes. "Creative manager? You really think I can do it?" Alex took her hand. The warmth of his touch spread and her heart quickened. "I believe in you more than anyone. You gave me hope in my darkest days. And now I want you to shine, not just for yourself, but for others." His words were like wind that stoked the embers of her confidence. She looked at him, their eyes locking in a moment that felt almost like a romance novel. "Alex, you always make me believe every dream could come true." Around them, the air seemed to hold its breath, broken only by the distant whir of the printer and the sound of children's laughter from Voss Tech's childcare area, where Liam played with friends under staff care. Sophia smiled at the thought of her son. "He's provided a safe place for Liam so I can work without worry." Alex shifted the conversation, his eyes lighting with enthusiasm. "Sophia, I have a bigger idea. I want us to build a program, Digital Second Chance, to help single parents learn graphic design like you did. Voss Tech will fund scholarships, provide laptops, and create flexible part-time jobs." He stopped and looked straight into her eyes. "You'll lead this program, bringing inspiration from your own journey." Sophia heard her heart pounding and tears gleamed in her eyes. "Alex, you're giving me a chance to change not just my life, but others' lives too." She thought of kneeling to pick up coins in the supermarket, of sleepless nights paying bills, and now the possibility of helping mothers like her find the light again. She squeezed his hand, voice trembling. "I will do it, Alex. For Liam, for you, and for people who need a second chance." That afternoon they worked together in the conference room, energy and creativity filling the space. Sketches covered the table as Sophia presented the logo idea for Digital Second Chance, a circle of light surrounding a pair of cupped hands, symbolizing support and hope. Alex watched her with admiration. "Sophia, you're not just talented. You have a big heart. This program will change lives because of you." In an unexpected moment, both reached for the same pen. Their fingers touched, and a tiny spark seemed to pass, flushing Sophia's cheeks. She looked up and met Alex's eyes. Deep, warm, as if they carried something beyond work. He smiled and whispered, "Working with you makes everything feel more meaningful. You are my inspiration." They stepped out onto the office balcony, where the sunset bathed the city in gold. A cool breeze mixed with the coffee scent from the meeting room, creating a quietly romantic scene. Sophia looked down at the bustling street, emotions swelling. "I used to think life was just a string of struggles, but now I have him. I have Liam, and I have this dream." Alex stood beside her, shoulder to shoulder, his gaze steady. Sophia, I used to live paying a debt to the past. But you and Liam gave me a reason to live for the present, for the future. He gently placed his hand on her shoulder, a tender gesture like a promise. Sophia turned to him and their eyes locked like a scene from a love novel. She whispered, "Alex, thank you for showing me. I'm stronger than I thought." He bent and kissed her forehead, a sweet kiss that made her heart race. "And thank you, Sophia, for making my heart live again." From the childcare area came the sound of Liam's laughter as he played with a teacher, holding the paper airplane Alex had folded for him. Sophia smiled, heart warm. "Voss Tech even has childcare so I can work here. He thinks of every little thing for me and Liam." Alex, as if reading her thought, squeezed her hand, his voice low and warm. "Sophia, I want you to focus on your dream. Liam will always be safe, and I will always be here with you." Her inner voice overflowed with joy. "This is more than love. It's family. I want to hold this moment forever." Yet a thread of worry remained. "I've opened my heart to him, but do I have what it takes to lead this program and deserve his love?" Alex met her gaze, firm and certain. "Sophia, we will build digital second chance together. You will never be alone." That day ended with Sophia and Alex back at the table, sketching the program plan. Liam's laughter from the childcare area, the scratch of pens on paper, and the looks they traded painted a perfect picture, not only of love, but of hope and second chances. Sophia thought to herself, "I used to count coins for diapers. Now I can help hundreds of mothers. For him, for Liam, I can do it." Alex looked at her, his eyes shining. "You are a miracle, Sophia. I'll be here whenever you need me." They held hands under the office lights like two souls who'd found one another, not just to love, but to change the world together. Will digital second chance succeed and bring hope to single parents like Sophia once was? And where will the love between her and Alex lead them next, as the moment of family draws near? Paper lanterns glowed on tree branches in the city park, scattering warm, golden light across the lush grass like a small, starlit sky within the city. The scent of jasmine mingled with freshly cut grass, creating a dreamy space as if stepped out of a romance novel. Sophia Reyes walked along the gravel path, holding Liam's hand as he bounced with delight, clutching a glittering, star-shaped balloon. She wore a pale blue dress, her hair loose in the breeze, joy filling her after days of hard work on the digital second chance program at Voss Tech. Inside, she thought, "I used to believe happiness was a luxury, but now I have Liam, a dream, and Alex." She smiled, unaware that tonight a fateful moment waited. Alexander Voss had texted that morning, "Sophia, bring Liam to the park tonight. I have a surprise for you both." His voice over the phone had been low and mysterious, making her heart race. Now, as she and Liam entered the park center, a magical scene unfolded. A small table set with white roses, flickering candles, and a small speaker playing her favorite violin piece. Liam squealed and pointed at the lanterns. "Mom, it's so pretty!" Sophia blinked in surprise, emotions welling up. "Alex did all this? He always surprises me." She scanned the scene for him, her heart pounding with a sense that something big was coming. Alex stepped out from behind an oak, wearing a fitted deep blue suit. A few silver strands in his dark hair gleamed under the lights. He smiled, and his deep gaze locked on hers, as if he wanted to say something beyond words. "Sophia, Liam, you've arrived," he said, his warm voice making the air seem to still. Liam ran to him and hugged his leg, calling, "Uncle!" With a radiant grin, Alex knelt and ruffled the boy's hair, then looked at Sophia, his eyes shining. I wanted tonight to be special because you and Liam are the most special people in my life." Sophia blushed and touched the silver bracelet unconsciously, the keepsake from their shared past. Inside, she felt tangled and happy. He always makes me feel like I'm the only one. But what is this surprise? Alex took her hand and led them to the table. A small cake with the word forever, spelled in chocolate, sat in the center, beside a jar of jasmine, the flower she had once said she loved. "Alex, did you do all this?" she asked, voice trembling. He smiled but didn't answer, instead signaling Liam. The little boy, full of childhood excitement, reached into his pocket and handed her a small piece of paper. Sophia unfolded it, and her heart stopped when she read Alex's handwritten line. "Sophia, you saved me once in the past. Now let me spend my life loving and protecting you and Liam." She looked up, tears glittering, and met Alex's eyes. Deep, sincere, as if he wanted to hold her whole world. The park grew quiet. Only the gentle violin and the wind through the lanterns remained. Alex dropped to one knee and took a red velvet box from his pocket, opening it to reveal a simply elegant diamond ring. "Sophia Reyes," he began, his voice thick but steady. "From the moment you picked up that coin in the supermarket, I saw a strong, loving woman, more beautiful than anyone I'd ever met. You saved me. Not only back then, but every day with your love and resilience. I want to spend my life with you and Liam, building a family together. Sophia, will you marry me?" Sophia stood stunned, tears streaming down her face as happiness surged like waves. She looked at Liam, who clapped and grinned as if he understood. "Mom, say yes," Liam cried, then darted forward and hugged Alex, shouting, "Daddy!" That single word pierced Sophia's heart like an arrow, and she burst into tears. She knelt and embraced both Liam and Alex, voice choked. "Yes, Alex. Yes, I will marry you." Alex slid the ring onto her finger, their hands entwined, and pulled her into a sweet kiss beneath the lantern glow. Their breaths mingled. His hand stroked her hair as Sophia whispered, "You are my everything, Alex." The moment felt like a perfect romantic scene. The world narrowed to them and Liam. They sat at the table. Liam giggled into his chocolate cake while Sophia and Alex held hands, eyes never leaving each other. She looked at the ring and remembered hard days. "I used to pick up coins, thinking I couldn't give Liam a decent life. Now I have him. I have a family." She turned to Alex, voice soft. "You made my dream real. Thank you for everything." Alex smiled, gentle. "Sophia, you and Liam are my dream. I carried the pain of the past, but you gave me a reason to love and live fully." He hesitated briefly as the memory of the 2003 accident flickered across him. Then he squeezed her hand tightly. "From now on, we'll write the rest of this story together." The violin softened and the lanterns twinkled like stars. Liam, tired from the joyful night, yawned and nestled against Alex. Alex lifted the boy and settled him in the stroller, murmuring, "Sleep well, son." Sophia watched them, her heart overflowing. "This is my family. I used to fear opening up, but now I know I chose right." She stood next to Alex, shoulder to shoulder, watching the park lights. Her feelings were sweet but edged with a little worry. This love is so beautiful. Can I keep it forever? Alex, reading her thought, took her hand and said in that low, warm tone, "Sophia, I promise to be with you and Liam, no matter what. This is only the beginning." She nodded, happy tears falling. "I trust you, Alex. Forever." That night ended with them leaving the park. Alex carrying sleeping Liam, Sophia leaning into his shoulder, the ring shining under the moon. The scent of jasmine lingered in the air like a reminder of their fated love. Sophia thought, "From coins fallen in a supermarket, I found him. I found a family. I will hold on to this happiness." Alex looked at her, eyes bright. "You are my light, Sophia. Thank you for giving me a home." They walked hand in hand under the lanterns like two souls who'd found each other, ready for a future full of love. Will this new love and family continue to shine? And will the digital Second Chance program take Sophia and Alex to new milestones as they build a legacy of hope? The soft glow from the hanging lights sparkled across the vast Voss Tech Hall, where the digital Second Chance program was celebrating its one-year anniversary. The scent of fresh flowers and brewed coffee mixed with the audience's warm applause, filling the room with hope and success. Sophia Reyes, now Sophia Voss, stood on stage in an elegant white dress, her eyes shining with pride as she looked out at the crowd, single parents who had found new opportunities through the program. She smiled, fingers touching the silver bracelet, the keepsake tied to that fateful past between her and Alex, and began her speech. "1 year ago, I was kneeling in the supermarket, counting coins to buy diapers. Today I stand here leading a program that changed the lives of hundreds like me." The audience applauded, but Sophia's gaze rested on Alex and Liam in the front row. Their smiles were an endless source of strength for her. A year had passed since that first kiss beneath the stars, when Alex confessed his love and revealed the secret from the past, that he had been saved in the 2003 accident by a warm-hearted little girl, without saying then that she was her. That time felt like a beautiful dream, full of moments that grew deeper and more stirring. Sophia recalled their wedding just 6 months later, a simple romantic ceremony in the park where Alex had proposed. Under green canopies, with jasmine in the air and a soft violin playing, she walked down a path strewn with white rose petals, holding daisies, a flower symbolizing hope. Alex stood there in a black tuxedo, his eyes locked on hers as if to say, "You are my everything." Liam, dressed in a tiny suit, ran up and shouted, "Mom, you're so beautiful," which made the crowd laugh. As they exchanged vows, Alex whispered, "Sophia, you saved me from the past, and now you save me every day with your love." She wept, happy tears tracing her face, and they kissed. A sweet, sunlit moment. Breaths mingled, his arms around her waist, and the crowd cheered, blessing them. That wedding night, in a candlelit hotel room with the scent of roses, Sophia and Alex clung to each other like two souls who had waited a lifetime. Alex gently helped her out of her wedding dress, his eyes shining. "You are so beautiful, Sophia. I want to hold you forever." She blushed, hand on his chest, feeling his strong heartbeat. "Alex, you are my sweetest dream." They embraced skin to skin, breaths hot and intertwined, like a rushing river of love. Alex whispered in her ear, "You are my light, the reason I live." She cried, tears braided with joy, and they stayed close, loving each other that night like a romantic symphony, sweet, fierce, and full of feeling. Sophia felt every tender touch, every passionate kiss, and thought, "This is true love, a love that heals every wound." 1 year later, Digital Second Chance had become a symbol of hope, helping hundreds of single parents learn graphic design, find online work, and regain confidence. Sophia stood on stage to tell her story. "From a mother counting coins, I found a second chance thanks to Alex's kindness. And now, this program is doing the same for you." The crowd applauded. Many mothers wiped their eyes, remembering their own journeys. A woman named Maria came up on stage, voice full of emotion. "Thank you, Sophia and Alex. The program gave me design skills. Now I have work, and my life has changed." Sophia hugged Maria, her heart overflowing with joy. I used to be her. Now I can help her, because Alex believed in me. Below the stage, Alex sat with Liam, watching proudly. She is the most wonderful woman I've ever met. Liam, now 3, clapped with the crowd and shouted, "Mom is great!" Sophia looked down and smiled, moved to see Alex lift Liam, their eyes meeting like a promise. After the ceremony, they returned home, the cozy house Alex had bought for their family, where the smell of baking and the sound of children's laughter always filled the rooms. Sophia hugged Alex and whispered, "Thank you for giving me a happy life." He kissed her, voice low and warm. "Thank you for saving me, not only in the past, but every day." Will this happiness last, or is another turning point waiting on their long journey? And how will Digital's Second Chance continue spreading hope as their story inspires thousands? The sunset set the San Francisco Bay ablaze in red and gold, cool sea breezes carrying the salt and wildflower scents through the windows of a luxury hotel. Sophia Voss, in a flowing jade silk dress, stood on the balcony, hair loose and shimmering in the light. She smiled and touched the silver bracelet, the fateful keepsake from the 2003 accident, when she had unknowingly saved Alex. Alexander Voss, her husband, came up behind her and wrapped his arms around her waist. His warmth pressed through the thin fabric. "What are you thinking, Mrs. Voss?" he whispered, his deep, warm voice breath hot at her ear. Sophia laughed and turned, eyes locking with his deep gaze. "That you still make my heart flutter, like the day in the supermarket." Alex laughed and pulled her into his arms, and they both burst into shared laughter. Their joy, a private love song. This business trip, a tech conference in San Francisco, was one of the rare times they left Liam, now 4, to savor moments alone. "Consider it our belated honeymoon," Alex had joked when booking the flights, a sparkle of mischief in his eyes. Now, in a candlelit hotel room scented with lavender, they clung to each other like newlyweds. After a seaside dinner flavored by red wine and waves, they returned, hands entwined. Sophia rose on tiptoe and planted a playful kiss on Alex's lips. "Mr. Voss, do you know you look better under candlelight?" Alex grinned and pulled her down on the sofa, eyes burning. "And you, Sophia, are more beautiful than the sunset outside." They kissed passionately, breath mingling, his hand in her hair as if trying to hold the moment. Sophia felt his heartbeat strong and thought, "Even as husband and wife, he still makes my heart race like the first time." That night, moonlight threaded through the window as they held each other, replaying the wedding night from 6 months before. Alex whispered, "You are my light, Sophia. Every day with you is a honeymoon." She blushed, fingers on his cheek, voice trembling. "You are the dream I didn't dare to dream, Alex." They laughed and embraced, skin to skin, 2 souls entwined in a symphony of love. Sweet, intense, overflowing with feeling. Sophia cherished every tender gesture and every fiery kiss and felt complete. This is true love, a love that heals. He looked at her with depth in his eyes. "I will spend my life loving you every moment." They lay together, moonlight witnessing their passionate love, as if time had not moved since that first starlit kiss. 2 months later, at home in the suburbs, Sophia stood in the bathroom, hands trembling as she held a pregnancy test. 2 pink lines appeared and her heart leapt. She stepped into a sunlit kitchen where the smell of toast made everything warm. Alex was playing with Liam, teaching him puzzles, when Sophia called softly, "Alex, come here a moment." He sensed the tremor in her voice and came. She handed him the test, eyes glistening. "We're going to have another baby." Alex froze, then swept her into his arms, tears of joy running down his face. Sophia, you've given me the whole world. They kissed sweetly. Liam ran over, curious. Mom, what's going on? Sophia grinned and pulled the boy in. You're going to have a sibling, Liam. He squealed and hugged them both, and the perfect family picture promised a bright future. That evening, at the 2-year anniversary event for Digital Second Chance at Voss Tech, the hall gleamed with lights and fresh flowers. Sophia, in an elegant white dress, stepped onto the stage, her eyes proud and bright. 2 years ago, I was kneeling in a supermarket, counting coins to buy diapers. Today, I stand with all of you to say, every dream can come true. She began, voice thick with feeling. This program has helped 1,500 single parents learn graphic design, find online work, and rebuild their lives. Thunderous applause followed. Many wiped their eyes, feeling seen. Sophia invited Maria, a standout graduate, on stage. Once desperate, Maria was now a freelance designer, and she shared, "Thanks to Sophia and Alex, I can support my son and live with confidence. This program was my second chance." Sophia hugged Maria, pride swelling. "I was once her, and now I can help her. Because Alex believed in me." Below, Alex cradled Liam, watching the stage with pride. "She is the most wonderful woman I have ever met." Liam clapped and yelled, "Mom is amazing!" Sophia looked down, heart fluttering at the sight of her family. After the event, they returned home, sunset turning the streets gold. In the living room, the scent of vanilla candles, Sophia leaned into Alex's chest and whispered, "Thank you for giving me everything. Love, Liam. And this baby." He kissed her, voice warm. "Thank you for saving me. From the past and forever." They embraced, moonlight sliding through the window, witness to their enduring, passionate love. Sophia and Alex's story is proof that small moments can grow into life-changing love and second chances. Do you believe in the miracle of destined encounters? Share this story, follow True Millionaire Moments on YouTube, and help us spread the message. Everyone deserves a second chance. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss more inspiring journeys. Thank you.